Hello guys, today we're making high-protein cottage cheese pancakes, or shall I say mini breakfast cheesecakes? Anyway, these are incredibly soft, delicious and perfect for meal prep. Each one has under 50 calories and 6.8 grams of protein. Let's get started. For the entire batch, first take 500 grams of cottage cheese. I always blend mine to get a smoother texture, without any lumps, and then I will strain it through the cheesecloth to remove excess moisture. This not only makes it denser in texture, but also in macros. After draining, mine cottage cheese has about 18 to 19 grams of protein per 100 grams. Plus, thanks to this process, we will need to use minimal amount of flour, keeping the calorie count low as well. Then add 1 egg. Now let's add some sweetener. I'm using a mix of 40 grams of pure erythritol and 20 grams of allulose. This amount of sweeteners will not make my pancakes super sweet. I prefer adjusting the sweetness with my toppings and fillings. But if you like, you can add extra sweetener or adjust the sweetness with using some liquid intense sweetener at this stage. Next, add 1 whole teaspoon of calorie-free vanilla powder. It enhances the slight tang of a cottage cheese beautifully. Then add half a teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, so the last ingredient is flour. Use whatever you prefer. I measured out 60 grams, but I'm adding only about 40 grams to the batter first and keeping the rest for the shaping. Now let's mix everything together. I honestly don't know what to call these for an English-speaking audience, like cheesecake pancakes, mini cheesecakes, I don't know. But actually, this is a traditional breakfast in Eastern European countries, especially in Russia, Ukraine and Belarus. In Russia, where I'm originally from, we call them sырники, which is literally translated to English like cheesecakes, or some cakes that are made from cottage cheese. Our traditional cuisine has tons of cottage cheese recipes because we have a million different types of cottage cheeses, like whipped, grainy, sour, salty, neutral, creamy, like tons of it. And I was away from a channel for a while because for the first time in 3 years I visited Russia to see my parents, and I simply couldn't use YouTube from there, and I even filmed a few grocery store shelves filled with cottage cheese for you. It surprised even me after all these years of either making cottage cheese at home by myself or adapting store-bought versions to what I was used to. And I even got a bit of nostalgic while editing this video and looking at the shelves with these whole varieties of cottage cheese. And I think you already know that from my channel content. I cook almost everything with cottage cheese, but you will never tell that it's made from the cottage cheese. So this is the main goal for our cottage cheese recipes. So next week I will make a cottage cheese meat pies for you. They are absolutely divine. It's an amazing protein snack and it's pretty slim, so don't forget to subscribe to see this recipe as well. So when the dough reaches the consistency, shape it into a log about 30 centimeters long on top of your flour dusted counter. So now you can cut 15 pieces, each about 2 centimeters thick. Using the remaining flour we have to dust our sырники or mini cheesecakes to prevent them from sticking. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, how should we call this in English? Because I think sырники will be a little bit hard for your ears to hear. So if you have any suggestions, please drop a comment. I would prefer to call them mini breakfast cheesecakes because that's what they taste like. So we need to keep the edges dry so they don't stick together when cooking. At this point, you can leave them just as they are and start frying them. But also at this point, you can add some fillings like nuts, dried fruits, freeze-dried berries, sugar-free chocolate chips. My kids love finding these little surprise fillings inside, so I will put a little bit of freeze-dried raspberries and a little bit of sugar-free chocolate chips for him. Once everything is sliced and filled and shaped into rounds, they are ready for cooking. I preheated my pan to a medium, like 4 out of 9 settings, and lightly brushed it with 1 milliliter of oil. I have a non-stick pan, so I don't need to use like tons of oil for frying, because you know all the oil we're using for frying also counts in your daily calorie allowance. Cook them on a low heat under the lid for 3 to 5 minutes per side until golden brown. Keeping the lid on helps them to cook thoroughly without burning. Flip them carefully as they are very delicate while hot. You can also freeze them uncooked as your meal prep, then cook straight from the frozen, or you can cook them first, cool them down, and then freeze them for even quicker meal. They reheat perfectly in a pan or in the air fryer or inside your oven. One of the best things about these pancakes is that they're delicious both warm and cold, with 2 completely different textures. For my plate, I will add some berries, Greek yogurt, and maple flavored fiber syrup, no sugar. It's not 0 calories, but it has a lot of fiber, so I do love to use them. It tastes exactly like maple syrup, like no, artificial intense flavorings. No, it feels and tastes pretty nice. So if you are from Europe, you can try this syrup. It's brilliant. So these are delicious both warm and cold. Fresh off the pan, they are very soft, very gentle, like a souffle. But after chilling in the fridge like overnight, they turn into very dense and creamy cheesecake bites. They are perfect for your summer breakfast. For me personally, I prefer to eat them cold, but you can try them both ways and decide for yourself. So that's it, guys. Don't forget to check out my other cottage cheese recipes. The playlist will be in the lower right corner. Enjoy your meal and see you next time!